5, we making a place. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
And let's go. We are back. I apologize for the delay. Apple was not working with me today. So apologize for jumping on a little late. Appreciate y'all bearing with me. I got my man Dev in the building. Dev, what's going on, player?
What's happening with you, Ray?
Not too much. What's been going on your side? What's been going on the pod? You had your 100th episode, right?
No, not yet. We creeping. The 99th episode come out tomorrow morning. Yeah, I've been busy. I've been a little busy outside the podcast world. My brother get married tomorrow, so I've been
trying to get on the day of the wedding.
Yeah. That's why I said I've been busy. Like, man, we've been doing wedding rehearsals. Then I had a basketball game yesterday too. So I just been everywhere.
How the season been going? I know you started playing like the rec league joint, right?
Yeah. Season went terrible a little bit. 2-6. 2-6. 2-6. But say it again.
Is it co-ed or all dudes?
It's all dudes.
Okay. Dang,
all dudes. But yeah, like I said, it's a little challenging this year due to the fact that it's a team. We are a team built off a bunch of hoopers. Like, we ain't nothing but just outside hoopers, and this is our first time playing in the league together. And now we're trying to play under the whistle. It's a little different for some guys. Some guys is still trying to play outdoor hoops, but you know what I mean, playoffs get ready to come around the corner. Things get ready to change for us. I got that feeling.
Oh, so you like the Lakers? You're gonna sneak in and try and do
something? Yeah, we're gonna sneak in. You know what I mean? Do a little switcheroo in the building process. You know what I mean? And things gonna work out in our favor. Since you brought my Lakers up, you see that. You see we just a half game away out of the play-in spot. Half game away. We almost there.
Yeah, but Bron's hurt.
We still won without Braun the other night. Let's go.
You just better hope Zion don't come back. Because if Zion come back, New Orleans going to take off for a little bit. And y'all need New Orleans or Utah.
Oh, my God. Man, Zion not playing this year.
They said that? Or you just
I'm saying that. I'm just saying it. We are down to like almost in the teens now. You know what I mean? Like,
ain't a lot of games left. And they're not giving us many updates.
They ain't even really give us no update yesterday. When I was looking at their game, they was playing was it Portland last night? Yeah, they were playing Portland last night. And they ain't really talk about Zion too much.
That's not good. Well, I won't say that because KD, they wasn't talking about KD like that, and then he was just back. I think Zion's a little different. I'm not saying the two are the same, but I hope, but that's not. I do hope he comes back, that he's healthy. I also do want Bron to get back. But they talked about, man, you playing all the minutes, and I didn't realize he's been in LA like 5 years now.
Them years did sneak past. Like after that first 2 years, it just blew right past us.
So he got the record. So I guess going forward, he kind of can chill, maybe coast a little bit more, save himself. But even playing all the minutes, the team is still bad. Like the record's not good. So you can't even really afford to sit him because they need to win. So best of luck to the Lakers. But let's get into it. Jon Morant in the news again for the wrong reason. Again. Jon Morant's lawyers are turning into like Kanye's lawyers or some of these other lawyers that they are earning their keep. Quick update. Jon Morant is accused of punching a 17-year-old boy, 17, is I think 12 or 13 times. I want to make sure I report it as accurate as possible. And then he went in the house after they beat him up. and came out with a gun in his waist and his hand on it, according to the witness or the victim, allegedly. I'm not one to jump on somebody until I have more concrete evidence, until there's like a legal recourse, an arrest, a trial, a decision, or I get more real evidence. But it's not a good look. You just had the red beam at the Indiana Pacers. You've had other incidents. Like, I don't know. Like, when you're that rich, I believe, because I've never been that rich, but I would think if I was that rich, I would have people that can handle anything like that. If someone is egging me on and disrespecting me, I don't have to move. I don't got to speak. I don't got to turn my head and acknowledge. Somebody else on this payroll handles all of that. That's your job. Whether it's a gangster or a publicist, somebody got to handle this. Stop. And if it's a gangster and it's your friend, cut them jokers off. Like, what are we doing? They are incapable of keeping you out of drama. Even if you don't do nothing right. You've put a target on your back because you talk too daggone much. And two, people know they're going to get a reaction out of you. I killed Shannon Sharp on here, but T. Morant and Jon Morant were a part of that mess too. So at what point, Jon Morant and your $200 million and Nike, who cut Kyrie and invested in Jon Morant, at what point does somebody get through this man's head, be better? At a certain point, whether you're innocent or guilty or not, don't even matter. Why you keep ending up in these positions? After you got $200 million guaranteed. Like, I'm at a loss for words. I don't even know if he beat the kid up. I ain't seen no pictures, no videos. But it would be great if we could go a couple months, a year, without negative Jon Morant gangster talk. No guns, no assault, no trash talking, verbal threats. Play ball, make money, change your family's life forever, and leave that dumb, childish, ignorant, I'm so tough. You lucky if that, whether it happened or not, you lucky you're still alive. Like, you think you can just pull up on people and put the beats on them, you or your crew, and there's not a response? You in Memphis, dog. Like, wake up. Grow up. Don't be in those situations. You're too rich. You can avoid them. Trust me. So that's my 2 cents on Jon Morant in this situation. I don't know if he did it or not, but I'm sick of hearing about it. I'm sick of having a report of potential allegations that this young man keeps finding himself in these situations. Like, change something because something is broken. Dev, your thoughts?
Start off with a little comedy on this one. But first of all, if Ja have nobody, no, first of all, if a video comes out that Ja's getting choked out like how Cat Williams got choked out by that kid, oh man, he might as well go ahead and play basketball overseas. He might as well. Secondly, what brownie points do you get punching the 17-year-old? Now, I understand Ja Morant got a weight of a 17-year-old, but at the same time, like, that don't mean that you can beat up on the 17-year-old. You know what I mean? Secondly, how gangster is it that you guys to, after you beat the 17-year-old, I understand this allegedly, but you beat the 17-year-old kid up. Did you feel so threatened, or that you feel like that his weight and y'all weight matches up so much that you had to go in the house and grab your gun? Like, hey, there's no shape or form of us looking at this story to say, like, man, Ja Morant, he's still my man. No, Ja, dog, if you are doing this, you're gonna lose a lot of cool points. Like, a lot of cool points. Because now, if you beating up a 17-year-old, that lets me know that 17-year-old must have been busting your tail on that court. or something. He must have been beating you with something for you to get so mad that you got to hit a 17-year-old 12 to 13 times. Like, wow. Secondly, when has it become gangster beating on kids? Like, when, you know what I mean? When, who wants that smoke? Where's CPS at? Where's, you know what I mean? Where's this kid's parents at? Why if this is allegedly supposed to happen, where's this kid's parents? He's still a minor. That means if you beating on my minor, dog, I'm sorry. For me to shut up this story, you're gonna have to pay me 200 mil. You're gonna have to pay me whatever Nike paid you, you're gonna have to pay me now. Because you think I'm not gonna sit here and I'm gonna let you beat up on my son. Doesn't matter. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you trying to prove to beat up my son is one thing, but to go in the house, I mean, to grab a weapon and try to scare him, like, man, it's not looking good for Ja. It looks like Nike tried to hurt.
This is the second instance of a gun. Like, I gave him the benefit of the doubt with the red beam. I'm like, duh, why would he do that? That's dumb. You wouldn't bring that to a. But maybe this idiot didn't get it. If this is true, man, I really hope it ain't.
If it's true, man, he didn't learn from Gilbert Arenas. You didn't learn?
Other plethora of people, like, you can't do that. Like, you're you.
Ja,
like, you're John Morant in Memphis. Like, you're pretty popular.
And another joke. And you think the reason why Ja went and got a gun because he can't shoot on the court?
That was well.
Ladies and gentlemen, I put my Ray mask on right now, so I'm gonna be Ray for this segment at least.
All right, I'm with it. John Morant, do better, bro. Fine. Don't be outside. Don't play street ball. Like, whatever it is that you got to do, leave that dumb, childish stuff alone. And Chris, shout out to you because Ja, you got a whole lot of issues in the West. You ain't sweet. Y'all ain't sweet. And that crazy outfit Dylan Brooks showed up in also ain't sweet. Put a shirt on.
Well, first of all, did you see the comment somebody made that said he looked like a spicy Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I did. And no disrespect to Dylan Brooks, but respectfully, you ain't him. Stone Cold is a different level. So I guess that was an homage or whatever, but leave that a mess alone. Memphis is making it hard to be a fan. Like, I liked Memphis, but these antics and this personality and this bravado, when y'all ain't won nothing, y'all ain't got no MVPs, y'all ain't got finals MVPs, y'all ain't got chips. Y'all ain't, I don't even think y'all won the best record in the regular season.
Nope.
You didn't win an All-Star game MVP. Like, what have y'all won?
Most improved. And then what Ja won the other year? What did him and he wanted to give the award he wanted to give to Desmond Bain.
Desmond Bain. It was most improved.
Okay.
Like that. So we're saying y'all wasn't even nice. Y'all just most improved. Y'all ain't winners. Y'all was bummed that leveled up. And y'all talking crazy. It's like a man that never had a beautiful girl and needed a girl and put her everywhere. Like, no, chill out. You've been here before. Or no? Like, have you never won at any level? You ain't winning college. So
I don't think nobody on that team has really won on any level, really, if you come to think about it.
Well, they talk like 7-Eleven, like they ain't stopped winning. And I ain't with it. I ain't with it at all. And speaking of KD, man, when I sat down and I really processed that starting five, they have 4 max contracts. Ayton is a max. And I think Booker, KD, and Chris Paul are all super maxes. Like, I know they got a new owner, and I'm sure he signed off on that trade. But dog, you want to talk about money, and I love that. Steve Ballmer, Joe Lacob, and them in Golden State pay the money. I'm all for it, but man, that team looked good. I've always been a Devin Booker fan, always been a KD fan. The Chris Paul and the DeAndre Ayton piece, I don't know. DeAndre Ayton had 16 and 16. I'm still waiting on him to average 20 points a game. We know that ain't about to happen.
Oh, that ain't gonna happen now. So if you looking for that 20,
it wasn't gonna happen then, and it ain't happening now. So I know we ain't shake on it, but y'all know what the bet was.
Hold up. I got off that bus many stops ago.
I just be trying to tell y'all. But no, I do like Phoenix. I'm not gonna let them get me again though, because I picked them last year. Contrary to popular belief, I picked them last year because I was impressed. Not this year, not yet. I don't know what the heck is going on in the West right now. Dallas looks amazing right now after they looked terrible the last couple games.
But the thing about it is Dallas is blowing the 20-point lead. They let Philly back into the game 10 points now.
Oh, it's down to 10? I saw
it's down like 10 or 9 now. It's getting close.
Another lead. That's not good. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, yeah, I see. Chris said 11 assists. Bro, he had 2 points. You got Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and Kevin Durant, and you got 11 assists? I'm supposed to applaud that?
Don't start him up, Chris. Please. Please don't start him up.
That's all I'm saying. Point guard, he's decrepit. Like, he's just out there because they ain't got nobody else. But I could get 7 assists with them. I can run pick and roll with Ayton, and can either kick the KD or Booker.
They're gonna trap you as soon as you come half court, Ray.
Hey, you can't trap me with them other shooters.
They gonna with your height. Yes, they will.
You better hope I can't. And I'm short. I'm mad short. So that is a problem. The length in the league, the speed in the league. I'm 35. I understand. But if I had a week or two to get in decent shape, because I'm way out of shape, like it's terrible. Oh yeah, wow, it's 9 with 10 minutes left. We got a ball game.
We got a game.
And Kyrie's on the court with Tim Hardaway Jr. They got to get rid of him. I can't stand Tim Hardaway Jr. I hope he get out the league. Like he just
really. He's not that bad, man. Come on, he's underachieved, yes, but I don't think he's that bad.
Wizards got a dub tonight. Shout out to the Wiz beating the Raptors. I stuck by the Wiz to get in the playoffs, and they made me look good. Beal, and we finally healthy. Beal, Porzingis, and Kuzma all played. Lovely. Tim's terrible. Like I haven't liked Tim Hardaway Jr. since I first met him in Dallas. Like, newsflash, people, I grew up like a big Dallas Mavericks fan. I don't really know how. I love Michael Finley and Dirk and them, and I just like Dallas. I like Mark Cuban, and I'm a fan. So I want them to win, and I wanted them to win for a while, which why was super sweet when they beat LeBron. But this Tim Hardaway guy is not it. I give a lot of criticism to DeAndre Ayton because y'all give me a lot of pushback. Tim Hardaway Jr., I feel way worse about. Like, he's definitely been robbing people. He's not Chandler Parsons because he be healthy, but he don't really play. He been robbing.
That's the person right there to be robbing people.
I think he finally wore off. Gordon Hayward, I think his reign of terror is about to run out too. But them white guys made a lot of money. Real quick to John, you think NBA would do something about Ja? So you can't think Kings can pass? I do not think the Kings can pass them, but I am a huge Sacramento Kings fan. Not at the moment. I like their players. I like De'Aaron Fox since college. I've said that when he dogged Lonzo Ball. I do not think they will pass Memphis. I think Sacramento is going to run into what Memphis ran into last year. They just ain't been there before. And as I currently look at the landscape, I think other teams will kick up. They're only 2 games back. I think Golden State's in the 5 seed, which is an amazing testimony, as they're 7-23 on the road, which is atrocious. But right now, Sacramento would have to play the Clippers in the first round. And that's not ideal, but
that'd be a good matchup.
That's the exact kind of team I wouldn't want. A deep veteran team is not who I want Sacramento to play. I would rather them play a Minnesota, a Utah, even a Denver.
You think Utah going to survive? Stay in?
Lloyd Markkanen acting like he don't want to fall out. So they maintained. I thought they would have fell off by now. But they're still in it, and I don't count out Portland. And I really don't count out OKC. I don't count out OKC either to push for that play. Again, I think they've similar issues. They're just too young, and they don't have a bona fide number 2. The great thing about Dallas is they definitely got a bona fide number 2. They just can't play defense. And Dev, if you can familiarize me. Damien said the new overtime rules. What's the new overtime rule?
I haven't seen no new overtime rule in the NBA.
Damien, if you can put in the comments what's the new rule. I didn't hear anything announced. And I just watched the double overtime game that went actually the Kings just beat the Clippers in double overtime, 175-174, whatever. Ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So I guess I might stand corrected, but no, I think playoff P and Kawhi, they could pose quite the hurdle for the good old Kings, but definitely Mike Brown, Coach of the Year, in my opinion, and I hope they just continue to keep up the good work going. But I don't know if they'll pass Memphis as long as Memphis stays healthy. Because John Morant is like the Elam ending, like they do in the All-Star game and that the Elite League. I like it in overtime. I like it. Fourth quarter, not so much. But yeah, they did the same thing they did in the All-Star game. They set, I think it was 24 points, and then you gotta. I'm okay with it, especially with as many people blowing leads as they do now. So now it's not really a timing issue because the clock stops if it's the same way it's been. So Damien or John, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no time limit. It's just a score. So if you can't score, you might lose. I think it's entertaining. I've seen the tournament for a couple of years now, and I like it. I like it a lot. It'll be interesting to see if that decides like a playoff game. Like, that could pose a problem, but it's interesting. Dev, what you think?
I'm torn in between the two because I can see if they do that new overtime rule, maybe we'll see better defense coming down towards the end. That can most definitely help the game far as that. But then I feel like this can also fall into the trap of how the NFL was trying to change the reason why they changed their overtime rule. You said a target score. What if, let's just say Dallas and Philly right now, because that's the game that we're watching. What if Philly made all this effort to come back, to make it back, and then Dallas get more possessions than Philly? I might be overthinking it right now, but what if we don't get the same amount of possessions? Something in that nature.
The same way. So no, they still inbound the ball and go back and forth. It's just say overtime is tied. Right. Say it's tied at 100. They might say the target score is 21. So that means the first team to get to 121 points wins. So you would still keep playing like normal. It's just first team to this number wins. And typically how it works in a tournament is it's not tied usually. One team's
Right.
usually ahead, and then I don't really know what the trigger is, but something triggers it, and then it's all right. This is the score. So to start overtime, knowing how many points you got to get, that could be interesting. That
Yeah.
could be interesting. I would
I
be
think
curious to know.
defense most definitely will pick up because now you know. I mean, you know the target. It's like almost like playing street ball, pretty much. You know that
When
you know
somebody got
we
19,
yeah. You know them last two possessions be the hardest two
yeah,
possessions of your life. So I can see that. I think that would put a spark into the NBA. How baseball is kind of speeding their processes up with the time clock for pitchers and batters and stuff like that now. So
yeah. That's a good point. All sports are really kind of tweaking some things. I saw the baseball game ended on a timeout. Like the pitcher didn't throw it fast enough, and the game just ended. So I
yeah,
don't want nothing like that happening.
but I
Definitely
want
not.
the only thing we're gonna have to probably talk offline. But I want to know, do that count as an error? You know what I mean? Like what? How's that count? Because you know baseball don't have turnovers like football and basketball. You know they pretty much count as errors. So that if you don't get into the time, you know whether you pitching or batting, do that count as an error though? That's the only thing I like to know.
For sure. Real quick, Dallas back up 11. Kyrie and Luka, man. I don't know how successful they will be. Man, they're gonna be fun to watch.
They're
Because
not
when
gonna
they
go
get
deep.
going, they just get going.
Yeah, I don't see them going deep. They starting to rely on the trade ball too much. And if their trade ball is not on, Dallas is not going to be on.
So that's why
Oh,
the game ended. Because it was
okay,
considered a strike and it was a strikeout. Okay.
okay.
Appreciate you,
Appreciate it,
John. And
John.
I saw spring training. I think it was spring training was on earlier today. I didn't even realize baseball was back. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not a baseball
baseball.
guy.
I just keep
Not
up
until
with
the
my
playoffs.
O's. I just keep
And
up with my O's.
national, yeah, same. And we're not gonna be good for a while. I don't know what the heck we was doing. We let Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, everybody go, but we got
But
one
y'all
ring.
kept. But y'all kept. What you calling? What's that? The pitcher? Strasburg.
Yeah, he ain't. We
But he
Scherzer
hasn't
left.
been. He hasn't been good since y'all won that that ring.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point, Damon. So that would eliminate any double OTs. There wouldn't be extra OTs. It's just the target score.
Like it. I
Okay.
think the NBA. I think the NBA should try it out.
The more it's playing out, and I'm all right with it because them double overtime games, triple overtime game, they don't need all that.
It be time you be gassed out by the time you get the double overtime.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, John. Yeah, that's what I didn't. It was wild to see. The game just ended, and I think because it was spring training.
Yeah.
That thing was doing. I guess we're here. We can talk about. We talked about load management a little bit. I guess I've started most of the conversations. Dev, what are your thoughts on load management? And do you think this or anything else can stop load management?
As an NBA wise,
Yeah.
no, because the NBA gave pretty much the power to the players, and you know once you know how players once they find a little seep hole through something,
No.
they're gonna take the whole thing. Just like with these gathers when you step up to shoot, when you dribble now, you can do so many different things. Um because they manipulating the rule now. So I think players have found the way of manipulating the rule by being so powerful that load management is not going to change. Load management is it's like a gift and a curse. For LeBron, he would have most definitely benefit from a load management because he probably wouldn't have to do so much. And he tried to low manage a little bit without people really saying that he was low managed. But a person like Kawhi, he most definitely took advantage of that load management. he went once he found that rabbit hole. My man was not coming back out until it was safe. He was like a groundhog. He was not coming out that hole until spring has really arose. But I don't see it going nowhere. I just think the players got too much power, and as long as they got power and the revenue, the money keep going up, and that's keeping the owners happy. So you know what I mean? It's just I don't see it. I don't see it stopping. I feel sorry for some of these players. I mean, some of these teams that pay so much money. These fans pay so much money to go see, and hate to say it, man, you might wind up watching a Dallas team without Kyrie and Luka one day. You know what I mean? Just because they want to save, they might want to save those two for a playoff run. You know what I mean? So it's not going nowhere. No, at least no time soon.
Got you. Quick update for the people. The 12-point game. Dallas has definitely kicked it up. Just had a Luka turnover that led to a fast break. But no, I'm with you, man. I don't know what to say because you say I hate load management. I do. But now LeBron's foot's broke. And we've had other playoff series where stars go down. And it's just not the same. So I don't know that load management is helping with the injuries. I can't say that it is. Anthony Davis stay hurt.
And he didn't even play the other night.
He did not. I don't know if it's bad nutrition. I don't know if it's bad diet. I don't know if it's overworking because these kids or these men have been playing high intensity sports for 20 years straight. Like a lot of these kids, these players, they've been playing basketball their whole life. They didn't take a summer off. And then if they did, they ran track or they played football or they played baseball, they played something else. So I don't know if it's just maybe an accumulation of life. But it does suck. I am aware that it sucks when they get hurt, but it sucks when they don't play. And yeah, like as somebody with kids, and I would love to I'll take my kids to some of the local games here, took them to baseball and stuff like that. But I ain't paying $200 a ticket for no 5-year-old to go see his favorite player, and the player don't play.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just supposed to eat that. No, I'm not driving up there. I'm not paying for parking. I'm not paying for food. I'm not going to the seat, paying for the ticket. And then got to drive all the way home, and you just chose not to play today because you didn't feel like
you
it.
Gotta pay for the food. You gotta pay for the food too, because you know kids get hungry.
Oh yeah. See, I don't like it. I don't know if you can prorate the contract. Like, but it's PTO, so I can't even say they don't pay them for the game because everybody else get PTO even though they get days off every week. I don't know. I don't know if you sacrifice a percentage. Maybe it's a load management fee. But and I don't necessarily want them to give it back to the owners because I don't think the owners need more money. The league don't need more money. So I don't know. I'm just freestyling here. I hate it.
You give it back to the owners, it's going to turn to the NFL.
That part. But John, to your point, people will argue he might be the greatest Toronto Raptor of all time. Like, he's a Hall of Famer. He's got mad defensive player of the years. He got finals MVP, 2 rings. So, yeah, he played 1 out of every 3 games, which is probably a first ballot Hall of Famer. If Tracy McGrady's a Hall of Famer, if Grant Hill's a Hall of Famer, Kawhi Leonard definitely got to be a Hall of Famer. Paul George, too, for that matter. So, and Paul George has missed a lot of games. Both of them, now that I'm thinking about it. I agree because it doesn't work. To Damian's point, it don't work. If it was working, it's hard to argue against it, but it's not really working. So I don't know. And he is. It should be called Kawhi Leonarding, not loading. You're Kawhiing. That's what it is. Some people call it quitting. Some people call it Kawhiing. I don't know. But I hate it. I do hate load management. And I guess if I have to. Here's another thing I've watched this Dallas team do. And this is why I think they blow so many leads. They take terrible shot selection. I'm watching them hit a lot of these transition threes. Kyrie got 38. But these are terrible shots that they're shooting. I don't know if y'all are watching. These are not good transition threes. They're going down. They had a 3-on-1. Luka passed to Reggie Bullock at the 3, and he hit it. It's a 3-on-1. Take the layup. So yeah, they're gonna have to, and this to me is also coaching. And I don't know who's coaching. Who's coaching Dallas now? Do we know?
Jason Kidd.
It ain't Rick Carlisle. It is Jason
Kidd.
He gotta figure something out because this is just bad. They don't agreed. Actually, Luka got a steal. I guess I'll count that as defense, but you can't not play defense and have bad shot selection. You shooting threes up double digits with 16 seconds on the shot clock. That's just not smart basketball. So we'll see. Clippers and Warriors next. For those of you who are tracking with us, but we will get the chance to see, and maybe this is valuable, how Dallas closes some of these games out because they do need reps in these situations. And another 3. No, the ball didn't even go inside the 3-point arc on that possession. I don't believe. So yeah, we'll get back to it. We did talk about KD a bit. 10-point game now for Philly. What'd you think? Does this team work? Does this team fit? Obviously, KD first game in, KD gonna be KD. But what did you think of KD's performance, and what do you project out?
KD performance was KD performance. You know what I mean? He came right in and fit right in with Phoenix. Perfect. Like I said, Phoenix is
real quick. I'm sorry, I gotta interrupt you. And don't forget where you're at. This is my point. Dallas is up 10. Game's likely over. There was a final possession. They got the offensive rebound and kicked it out to the 3 to Reggie Bullock. And you shoot a 3. Why?
And then Harden just hit a 3.
And now they threw it to the corner, and whoever the little light-skinned curly hair kid is dribbled it out. But you just wasted 20 seconds because that's just bad basketball. Now you turn the ball over. This is how you lose games, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all are watching. They might win this game, but this is how you lose games to good teams. This is bad basketball. Sorry. Go ahead, Dave. You're talking about Phoenix and KD.
Phoenix is most definitely going to be a tough team to compete. They was already kind of tough in the beginning. Now you add KD, one of the most deadly shooters in the NBA history. It just got scary. Now my only downfall with Phoenix is that bench. I just think after you take away that 4, what do you have after that? And that's going to be like a concern. And to me, I don't think that 4 is really strong enough to get you past everything that's in the West. Right now, we don't even know how the West is even going to end on a playoff tip. Are we going to get? Hold on. Dang, we're gonna get there. Dang, we're gonna get there. Shoot, dang, you messed me up. But Phoenix, like I said, I don't see them getting golden. To me, they won't be going too deep because of the bench. After that 4, if Chris Paul, because he might be the one that messes it up. If Chris Paul but if Chris Paul get hurt, because I already know. I see. That's why I said I want to switch my words because I know how you is. If Chris Paul is to get hurt, just like how he been hurt the last couple of years when it's down into the Western Conference or the round before the Western Conference, who's going to fill in his spot? Do you rely on Cam? What's his name? Cam Payne to come in to fill in the Chris Paul dude? I don't see him as the starter. I don't think he would fit in with that with the KD and Devin Booker lineup. I think that Phoenix really hurt themselves. Not only when they gave away Mikal Bridges, you gave away Cam Johnson. I think Cam Johnson was a good valuable piece off the bench that you shouldn't have gave away so quick. And I think that's what Phoenix is going to hit is against teams. You maybe like a Memphis, or you never know if Golden State can keep their winning ways. That you go against a Golden State, you go against a team that has depth a little bit. That their bench is a little bit stronger than Phoenix bench. So that's my only concern about Phoenix. But as far as KD being on that team, Phoenix is most definitely their offense is most definitely about to be in a high scoring clip now. Chris Paul and Aiden is really not going to have to do so much scoring so much now. Because you can get 30 and 30 from Booker and Durant, and then you can hopefully Aiden can give you a solid 18, 20 points a game, and Chris Paul can dismanage the game, maybe with a 12 and 12 type game. I think that will help Chris Paul's career out towards the end, that he don't have to do so much, that he can just bring it past half court, and he got two guys that can run the show. So that can help Chris Paul. But like I said, if one of them gets hurt and the key point in the playoffs, I don't think Phoenix survived that long deep into the playoffs.
Okay, we will see. It does look like Dallas will get out of here with a W. No, I can't really disagree with what you said. I think it is early, and we'll figure it out. But the request came in, Dev, so we just got to deal with it. Actually,
hold on. Let's go to John. Let's go to John's question real quick.
Deeper. It's hard to argue with the Bucks right now. They won 25 games in a row.
I go with Boston bench.
I think it's Boston and Denver. I'm sorry, Boston and Milwaukee. Denver, I just don't know if they're still in that league. I think they're solid, but trading away Bones Highland and some of the others, I don't know if I love their bench like I used to. And especially if the Bucks go get Goran Dragic just as a body, that's a solid body. So I'm gonna go Bucks. I have them in the finals, I believe. So I'm gonna go Bucks and Dev on Boston. But what the people really want to know is Dev, how confident are you that Lamar is staying in Baltimore?
Still 50-50. I seen that the Costa came out and said, they talking to the deal and thing is very optimistic. Things is looking good and blah blah blah. But and like I told my homeboy not too long ago, until I see it come across my screen, my phone, my tablet, my laptop, TV, whatever, that Lamar is signing a 5 years such and such mil with the Ravens, I don't even care about the Lamar Jackson news now. I don't care what John Harbaugh say. I don't care what Eric DeCosta say. I don't care what the so-called the people that's in the camp is saying. I don't care what nothing said. Until that screen says Lamar and them has signed the 5-year deal, I'm still 50-50 chance. He can still walk. He can still sign the franchise tag. He can get traded. Like, it's a business. You know what I mean? And I'm not getting wrapped up into all the fake news. Anything can happen. If both sides can't come to an agreement, then the best thing for both sides to do is maybe part ways. I wouldn't suggest it to part ways. I think that would be the most stupidest idea that Baltimore can do. But, but hey, it's a business. So I'm staying 50-50 right now.
I'm less than that. And so I was doing some reading just now while you was talking a little bit, and I didn't realize the extent of the issues. So on the contract piece, I think they've already sullied that relationship. They're not getting no discounts. But going at his top targets is probably not the way to endear him to your organization.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's in the water at the combine or what these men have been drinking or smoking, but they just got words for people. Some on their team, some they fired, but they just got smoked for people. I don't understand why he said what he said. I think it was frustrating, but if I'm DaCosta and somebody asks problems in drafting wide receivers, and I say if I had an answer, that would probably mean I would have some better receivers. We're going to keep swinging. Whose fault is that? Like, I know it's like you shooting at the players, but if you've been there for this long and ain't nobody hitting, and one of the probably the best light you had was Hollywood and you traded him, I don't know what to really do with that. But it's deeper. John, I don't like that there's no Washington Commanders in this list. No. I mean, I guess they could do that, but then you definitely are punting on Jordan Love. That's a wasted pick if you bring Lamar to Green Bay. And no, Eric Bieniemy better not.
You about to make Sam Howell into a Hall of Fame quarterback? What are you talking about? No.
There was a reason Sam Howell didn't start any games until the last one of the season. So I've campaigned and championed my man. Dang, I can't remember his name now. Heineke. I like the kid. I think he's better than Howell. I don't know if he can win as a championship. And given the amount of quarterbacks available, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan. Can't stand the man. But if we can get him, actually, no. I actually would not, because he's going to cost a bunch of money. And I take all that back. Lamar, yes. I'll take Lamar. And that's all I'm going to go. I see Lamar going to New England. Nah, I don't see New England. I think they believe in Mac Jones. And he doesn't fit nothing.
New England is trying to figure out what they're trying to do with Belichick. Whether they're going to leave him as a GM or is it time for him to move on from a coach? They got their own little problems.
If I had problems with Baltimore's receivers, New England ain't no upgrade. Vegas is interesting.
You think I'm going to go to New England where a wide receiver wants to throw back the ball to the quarterback at the end of the game where we could have went to overtime? No, not going there. He don't know the rules of the game. He don't know how to win the game. Why would I want to play with a wide receiver who want to pass me the ball back? No.
Yeah, that's smart. I do like Vegas. I don't know how it will work logistically because Carr's still technically on their roster, or have they cut him? I think they cut him, right?
They cut him. They released him. Yeah, he's free. He's a free agent. He can go anywhere.
So I don't know how Baltimore or he would get to Vegas, but I could see the fit there.
Unless they're going to trade it to Devontae Adams. That's the only way I can see him coming to going to Las Vegas.
Why would you trade for Devontae and have no quarterback?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's the only way I can. That's the even exchange. Lamar for Devontae. You know, they don't got no receivers out there, and we ain't got no quarterback here.
Facts. Sounds like a match made in heaven. Damon. Yeah, that's right. I know he requested the trade, and then they was like, nah, and so they cut him.
They couldn't find nothing. They couldn't find nothing.
Yep. Dev.
I know they could have found something.
They couldn't have got a 7th rounder for Derek Carr. They could have. I don't know what happened or how that broke down so fast. I'm gonna blame Josh McDaniels because I think he's trash. But yeah, that was messy. Nah, he's trash.
I'm with you.
But I did want to get back to this, which and Dev, you're on the hot seat right now. So I was reading this article by USA Today, actually, so reputable, if you believe the media. Like, we don't got to get into that. But one of the quotes here, and I do remember the no trade, but I still feel like there were options. I don't know who. I don't remember him putting a list of names out, like, but I can't think of too many teams that just would not even entertain her. Like I said, bring in no DZ. I love him. But I was reading this thing, and according to a NFL PA survey about the quality of team working conditions, Baltimore received an F- for its strength coaches and a C for its training room. And Quincy Adebayo, don't really remember him as much, but he said definitely ruined my career. 3-year season ending in injuries. I'm sorry, 3 season. I think it's saying 3 years in a row he had season-ending injuries in a row after being healthy my entire career prior. Carl Davis Jr. said I was definitely a victim of the strength coaches, 2 labrums, and multiple pec strains. So
even Matt Judon came out and said something on Twitter and said that our strength and conditioning coach was trash.
So now that I know that, if I'm a running quarterback with injury history, I know why he didn't come back last year.
Yep.
Like, I told y'all before, I wouldn't have touched the field to start the year, personally. But if your strength and conditioning team is that bad, because I had no idea, F-?
I didn't know you can get that.
Yeah. F ain't bad enough. You're like a super failure. Matt, put that on your resume. So yeah, that changes my number even lower. Like, y'all got a lot of problems in Baltimore. I ain't gonna hold you. And maybe y'all get it together. Hopefully you don't, and send us your quarterback. I'll trade y'all Howell and Heineke for Lamar.
No go. The Ravens flock over here said that's a no go. We won't do that trade. Please don't do that again.
Dev Rod had a message for you. So I didn't know how you felt about that, but yeah. This
It's the same. It's the same team that we just talked about. How your receiver wants to throw it back to the quarterback. So we don't want to go there.
Yeah, Ray Lewis didn't complain. I have a lot of
maybe the strength and the conditioning coach was different back then when Ray Lewis was playing. But you can kind of start seeing that out. It might be true. You gotta think. Dobbins went down. Gus Edwards went down. Marcus Peters went down.
Running backs going down too. That's true.
Lamar
brings
went
all
down.
the injuries y'all been having down into question. I ain't gonna hold you.
Bateman went down. Hollywood was down. Like the list goes on. It don't get me wrong. It is part of the game, but that brings up another point that we was supposed to talk about last episode too. Byron Jones, Mr. Broad Jump. Remember, he's the one. He's saying that some of these doctors don't know what they're doing. Don't take these drugs. Don't take the medication that these doctors are prescribing. So it's a possibility that all of this can be tied up. Maybe we not the only strength and conditioning team with F-. It might be some more teams that people just not revealing right now. It's just like right now with all the turmoil and the bad news that's going on in Baltimore with Lamar not being signed and Eric DeCosta throwing shots at his receivers, is like, well, since we already spilled a little bit of quarter of the milk, we might as well spill the rest of the milk that's going on in the Ravens camp now. Because it's been questions about John Harbaugh keeping his job with us for the last couple of seasons. They saying that John Harbaugh is more of a friend than he is a boss. Like he just like to, I heard he like to keep people around just because of their relationship. That's why it took so long for Wink Martindale to get fired. That's why it took so long for Greg Roman to get fired. So Tyrod Taylor wasn't on us. That was on who was that? Buffalo, I believe it was. So yeah, it's maybe Byron Jones might have started something. You know what I mean? Okay, the Chargers. Okay, so Byron Jones most definitely might have started something with this with that tweet about these team doctors, and now it's just everybody's starting to speak up about it.
So that, and obviously that caused the question a ton. We had the concussion lawsuit. We saw the Tua situation. We saw the Tua situation again. Like I heard Alex Smith tell a story about a concussion he had in the game, and he led a touchdown scoring drive and didn't remember it. Like he played multiple plays after it hit, and he said, "Don't remember none of it." Like that's scary. We've seen a number of young players say, "Nah, I'm good." So I don't know. I don't think we're going to lose football. I'm not going to sit on crazy like that. But I don't think it's far-fetched to think we might get to a point where we see more Pro Bowl-like football and not the stuff we used to. Because it doesn't sound sustainable. I heard Reggie Bush talk about how his wife, let me be respectful of her, had to help him get out of bed a lot of times. Like, can't move. So my heart goes out to these players. Yeah, I know they sign up for the risk. Yeah, they get paid a bunch of money. But as somebody if anybody's ever been really sick with something or ever really hurt something, yeah, you knew the risk. But until you break something, until you really do something, you have no idea what you're signing up for because there's no real reference point. Like, I've never woke up and couldn't move. Like, what do you mean? And the other thing he said was stop taking all them pills. Like, shooting, we talked about it a little bit last week. Patrick Mahomes, I don't know how he made it through them last 2 games he played.
That's them shots, them cortisone shots, boy. He was all for it. He was ready.
But what does that mean? Because the problem didn't go away. Just your ability to feel the problem goes away. And this idea that I heard it talked about recently that, oh, well, you can't injure it any more than it's already injured. What you mean?
Yes, the hell you can.
Like, and if I can't, I don't want to play with that. What you mean my leg is already broke, so you can't break it no more? Go ahead.
Go ahead. You just broke the fibula. You just broke the fibula. You ain't gonna break nothing else to it.
The shoulder's already out the socket, so you might as well just keep playing. Like,
your collarbone is still there, so your shoulder should hold up by your collarbone. Man, get out of here.
I mean, once it's broke, it's broke. So just keep playing. Like, it's different. That I'm definitely not built for. Definitely not now in my life. But yeah, man.
John made a statement saying he think the last player that said he had enough and walked away too soon was Andrew Luck. It's beyond, and it's a couple more players. I can't think of the guy.
A rookie linebacker in San Francisco did the same
thing. Yeah, he just walked away. He said he was done. He didn't want to. He'd rather walk away from the game instead of being carried from the game. It's a lot of young players that play maybe no more than 3 years now and starting to walk away from it. They get that money. Once they get that money to hopefully start their entrepreneur business, and they said I'm out. I'm gonna make sure I can remember me doing this. I ain't trying to be like Alex Smith and not remember all the good things that I did.
Yeah. I think the key is what Tom Brady looked like in 5 years. I will be very curious to see Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers post-retirement. We don't really see Phillip Rivers no more. A lot of these guys disappear, and maybe there's a reason why they disappear out of the public light. And that really sucks. But
shoot, we ain't even see Big Ben yet.
No.
We heard him one time at the beginning of the season, and we haven't seen him. We haven't seen him at no Steelers game at all this past season.
That's a fair point. He's the weirdo. I told y'all that boy Rodgers a weirdo. That's why I said don't bring him to DC, dog. He been in the cave longer than Andrew Tate, and he still don't know if he's gonna play or not.
He was in the cave long enough to be Batman. He still don't even know if he's going.
He could have built an Iron Man suit, a Batman suit in that dark cave. And don't nobody. I don't care. The only way we know this is because you told us. I can't stand this man. When we don't have to talk about Aaron Rodgers no more, I will be the happiest in the world.
Man, but I didn't set this. I just said this for a while. Aaron Rodgers F that team up. He messed it up. Packers is gonna suffer. What they suffering now? They've been suffering the last 2-3 years. Every offseason he got to go into his back cave and hide away and come back with these weird cuts and stuff like that, man. And
he's immunized. Don't forget he's immunized. He ain't so.
You know what I mean?
So actually, that brings me to a question.
Okay.
They had Brett Favre for 20 years, something like that. You had Aaron Rodgers, 20 years, arguably 2 top 5, worst case top 10 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
How do you only get 2 chips and 40 years with them 2?
Honestly, I think Favre should have had more than Rodgers, in my opinion, because I think Favre had more talent. He had Antonio Freeman for a couple of years. He had Donald Driver.
I hate him.
He had
Dorsey Levens.
Green. Yeah, and these names are starting to flash back to me now. And I can say one way, John Elway did get in the way of one for Brett Favre. So you can you can't get mad at that one. But it was the previous ones that Brett Favre. Well, I thought Brett Favre should at least had 3. Aaron should at least had 2.
Because combined, they got how many MVPs? Do we know? 5 or 6 between the 2 of them? Because Rodgers got 3.
Rodgers got 3 to himself. So I'm gonna say 5.
I know Favre got at least 2.
I'm gonna say 5. No, yeah, I'm gonna say 5. No lower than 4.
I just feel like that's really uninspiring to have those 2 great quarterbacks, and you only got 2 rings out of it, and not even that many appearances.
And then the crazy part about it is don't they call Green Bay Title Town?
They do. They used to be. Favre has 3 MVPs.
So they got what was that? 5, 6 together?
At least. I know Rodgers got at least 2. He probably has more than that, but you can keep going.
But I honestly I couldn't even tell you why these guys had great teams, good teams to get you out of the NFC to put you in a better position to at least make the playoff a Super Bowl appearance. So I really can't explain why. Because you gotta think, the early 90s, you had Dallas.
Oh, Rodgers got 4. See, they got 7 MVPs and 2 chips between the 2 of them. And
emotional damage.
He was tough, but that's because he held the ball too long. I don't label you as tough because you dumb. Like, throw the ball. And even in that, he held it a bunch and he threw the ball to the wrong team more than anybody. So that's probably, I guess, why you don't win a bunch of chips. You keep turning the ball. But Rodgers is the opposite. Rodgers don't really turn the ball over. And he still don't win either. So, and somebody's going to do a Titletown documentary. And that era, that Favre, Rodgers era, we got to revisit that. Because that's underperforming, in my opinion.
Do you think that is maybe that Green Bay might have focused on too much on offense and not enough on defense? Because, you know, the one
they had Charles Woodson, they had Clay Matthews.
That's what I'm saying. The one that Aaron Rodgers got, they had a great defense. They had the Clay Matthews, the Charles Woodson, the BJ Raji. You know, I mean, they had.
If you have a Ravens 2000 like defense, how great are you as a quarterback if that's what it takes to win your one ring?
Touche.
And Alex, I'm with you. They all been bad, but ain't none of them had a Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers. Kirk Cousins ain't it. Justin Fields ain't there. Who was the other guy?
Jared Goff is not going to be the answer for Detroit.
And actually, the Lions might be coming. They might be coming. I like their coach, but that's the other part. Like, I agree. I'm not saying the Packers are a terrible franchise. I just feel like they've underperformed given the quality of talent, mainly at the quarterback position. Like, and you played in the NFC. You didn't even have to see Manning or Brady or Roethlisberger or Rivers.
But Favre he had to see Aikman. He had to see the Cowboys a lot though. In the beginning that time when the Cowboys was
49ers Cowboys was
49ers. So he had some top tiers over top of them. But other than that, I don't see why Brett Favre wasn't in more Super Bowl appearances.
It's disappointing. Disappointing as you think about it. Let's talk about disappointing.
He said leave Justin Fields out of it. No, we're gonna talk about Justin Fields now.
He's not their category. 7 MVP is a lot between two dudes. Speaking of somebody with a lot of MVP, probably should have more. LeBron James. Y'all know how I feel. Well, most people know how I feel. Not the biggest fan, but I respect the talent. Second to very few. But he's hurt again. And the last couple of years, he keep getting hurt. Now, we kill AD. We kill Kawhi. We kill PG. We kill a lot of these guys that load manage and sit out, and Zion that gets hurt. But quiet as it's kept. LeBron James, dare I say, has become injury prone. Mr. Glass. It's been some fluke stuff. Was it Reggie Bullock who fell into his ankle and then he missed like a bunch of games on kind of a fluky play? This foot injury was I think it was non-contact. Like, obviously he's at the end of his career.
I think he said he heard something pop when he went up.
Yeah. My ankle hurts too when I get out of bed sometimes. I'm old. I guess my question is, sometimes it doesn't feel great. My question is, what LeBron James do you expect to see going forward to finish out his career?
I think we're going to start seeing more injuries a little bit. I think in his first, let's give him his first 15 years in the league, LeBron was not hurt that many times. You know what I mean? It was just like he was like Iron Man. You know what I mean? He was always out there. You know, load management and LeBron didn't fit the same sentence during that time in the beginning of his career. He most definitely gave it all, put it all, and I think that's the downfall sometimes of not load management. When you go out there, you put it on, you give it your all, time after time, year after year, and you're going deep into the playoffs year after year. Eventually, your body gets tired. As we all know, Father Time is undefeated. And LeBron did a commercial for his tennis shoes this year of Father Time being in his commercials and stuff like that. And you know, we joke about stuff like that, but it's true. LeBron knows it's true that Father Time is just he's on his heels. No pun intended, because he most definitely is on LeBron's foot now, and he's showing that that I don't we showing that now that LeBron is human. He's finally that Superman cape is finally coming off. He's starting to look more like Clark Kent now, and most definitely look like Clark Kent on the sideline. And I don't think we should put him in the category with AD because it's like AD was hurt in New Orleans majority of the time. Like AD can show you flashes of he can be dominant big man in the league, but it's just injury. Injury plagued him before he even got to the Lakers. And we can't say that about LeBron. LeBron had went to the Cavs, went to the Heat, went back to the Cavs, and wasn't that much injuries underneath his belt. So I don't think fans should be mad at LeBron. I don't think he's faking this injury. I don't think that we should put him in a category of him being the glass guy now. It's just that all the time is finally just catching him. You know what I mean? And you can't get mad at that. When you play 20 years and when you do something 20 years over and over, it's just like eventually your body is just gonna be like, dang, dog, we gotta do this again. we need a break. Hold on. Let me show you why we need a break. And you know what I mean, he get injured. So yeah, we can't put him in the same category as AD or even Kawhi for real. I think LeBron is once again in his own class of injury. You know what I mean? And nobody really fits in that same category with him.
That is fair to say. Rod, I don't have time for this today.
I ain't getting into that one.
Get it, but we're not gonna do that today. Another time. But that is inaccurate. Your thing is the wrong way. He's not with his man. I think we all said this was a dumb trade. I didn't think it would fail as bad as it has, having to trade D'Angelo Russell and Karl Anthony Towns become an afterthought in a lot of ways. I thought they would be better defensively, and I thought they would be decent because they had offense, but it did not mesh.
I knew what.
I don't know if I agree with that either. But I am starting to learn a little bit more about this Rod guy and how he feels. So Lakers fan is LeBron lover. So I take his comments with a grain of salt, which is cool. We love LeBron for the most part as well. He be doing some wild stuff sometimes. Bulls as a disappointment. We had topics, but I appreciate y'all commenting. So we're just gonna run through these. One of the biggest disappointments, Mike was what Mike at? Somebody at Mike. One of the biggest disappointments of the season is to be the Chicago Bulls. You can't bring together big names like DeRozan, LaVine, and Vucevic and hit a wall. Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. The reason being, and the reason why I did not pick them to go to playoffs, they're all number twos at best. LaVine's a 3 to me, and Vucevic is at best a 3. He's Ayton. Like, he's cool. He'll hit some shots. Actually, that's not even true. He's worse than Ayton. Ayton's better than him. They're just a guy. Lonzo, that's a weird injury. This was supposed to be, it sounded like an easy, quick fix. He's been hurt a lot in his career too. Now his brother is out. I think we talked about them a little bit in the last episode. The balls, they were like this, then they went 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 like this, and now they're like, I don't know. It was like, great, you got sons in the league. They're going to be great forever.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
It went from 3 to 2 to 1.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Listen, they got paid. I don't think any of them got a second Oh no, I think Lonzo got a
We've
second
been tricked. We've been backstabbed. And we've been quite possibly bamboozled.
That's the GM of the Bulls talking. Ain't me.
Yeah.
They didn't think this was the Lonzo they was getting. And again, I reference this all the time. When De'Aaron Fox cooked him in that tournament, I had my doubts. When Magic got up there talking about we're gonna hang that number 2 jersey in the rafters, had my doubts. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I don't think any of them are that guy. I don't think they change life for any team they would go to. Levine's a high volume, low efficiency scorer that don't play defense. DeRozan's added a 3 to his game, but he's old, he's expensive. And like I already told you, Vucevic is at this point, he's really a guy as a big man. There's a bunch of decent big men. He's one of those. So no, I'm not disappointed. I don't think any of us picked the Bulls to even make the playoffs, if I remember correctly. So par for the course. Now, the bigger issue is what happens going forward. I don't think there's a way forward for this group. I think the trade value is low. Not Lonzo. Lonzo is on a big deal. I don't know if it's a max deal. Levine's on a max. DeRozan's on a max. Vucevic is getting paid. Excuse me. It's just a lot. So I don't know what to do. So, John, I have a solution for you. There's this team that plays in Washington.
Yeah.
They had a max guy or a guy that wants to be a max. No, Porzingis is a max guy. They had some draft picks. Had a guy named Kuzma. Had some point guards, Marcus Morris, who's been hurt. They need a point guard in DC. I'm all for it. Not the biggest Lillard fan, but he'd definitely be an upgrade. But no, I agree. Yeah, he was. And I like John Wall. People talk bad about John Wall, say he got his money and didn't play again. I just think that was bad timing. Like, I've been campaigning for John Wall on here. Bring him back. I don't know if he wants to come back here, but I would be perfectly fine with John Wall in DC, especially right now. I think it'd be a great story. The team is, we might make the playoffs. We'll be a play-in team and have an option. But, yeah. I guess I wonder if there's a Vegas bet for who will be back first, Lonzo or Melo. Because Melo gonna be out for a minute too, and the season's basically over. So
season over.
We might not
Neither
have
one
in the league this year.
Leandro will make a team.
LiAngelo?
Yeah, he gonna make a team.
He couldn't make the Hornets, and that was before Miles Bridges.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh,
being sarcastic. I ain't got no faith in that, man. There's no way that you get on the team twice and you don't make neither team.
Bad.
Oh, the Hawks. Oh my goodness. It is the story about the Hawks right now. Yes, they fell off tremendously. And I hate to say it because this guy is about to be cheesing from ear to ear, but Ray called it. Trae Young is not looking good in Atlanta right now. Ray called it. I would have traded Trae Young when they got a Dejounte Murray. My goodness, it is a report out that Trae Young and nobody in that locker room bangs with this guy. They felt like they should have got rid of him. He's not a good leader. He don't show no good leadership qualities. What else they were saying? It was a GM that also said that the Hawks would not win. Any team would not win with Trae on their roster.
Damn.
That's tough, surprising. Because I kind of like Trae. I knew he was a little arrogant. You can tell he is. But I kind of like Trae, man. But if if you can't win a locker room, man, if nobody don't wants to play with you, you leaving bad taste in people's mouths now, man. Ooh, I hate that. I'm mad that someone who brought that. John, why would you bring it up while Ray on the head right now, man? Why would you do that?
Well,
You look like a shelter dog.
sometimes Gotham needs Batman. And when you need Batman, you got to send the bat signal. And that's what John just did. John, I've seen you in here quite a few times, but you might have missed a couple of these episodes. I said from day one, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray won't work. Not because they can't play together. They are not good personalities. Everybody was focused on Trae Young in this equation. I was focused on DeJounte Murray. I, as a former gambler, saw the production of DeJounte Murray. He was a lock for points, rebounds, and assists. And do it all Swiss Army knife. He's bigger. He rebounds better. He defends better. And they shoot about the same without looking at the stats as Trae Young. He's a better, bigger version of Trae Young. What he didn't have was the Adidas marketing machine behind him. He didn't have the Steph comparison coming out of college, which is blasphemous. I said it then, and I'll say it again today. Steph is one of them. He's him. Trae Young ain't. Never has been. I could not get farther away from Trae Young. Trae Young is Kyler Murray to me. Personality, demeanor, stature, mentality. You are in a leadership position and you suck at leading. And it just don't work. People want to see him in a big market. You don't want to see some of these guys in big markets where there's a lot of pressure. It's different. Obviously, Trae Young's talented. But if you want to win, stay away. If you got young talent that you're trying to develop, stay away. He is not, his assists look great, but it's not a good team concept. And you fired your coach, and I was pissed about this last episode.
Mm-hmm.
You fired your coach when all these reports is out here that you got a problem at point guard. You let the trade deadline pass and kept him on the roster. That team don't work. It's going nowhere. And we had the episode a while ago. I thought I said blow up Atlanta. I thought Atlanta was one of the teams that said blow it up. John Collins, he's cool. He a guy. To me, I'm starting to feel the same way about Scotty Barnes. People keep telling me he's untouchable up in Toronto. I'm not seeing
why. I'm not
all I'm
seeing
saying
it
is
either.
I haven't seen the impact of whatever people think he got. John Collins is in that same ilk for me. Talent shows up, inconsistent. Michael Porter Jr., those type of guys you can't count on. You can't rely on them because you don't know who you're getting and when you're going to get them. And they're in and out of position because he's not really tall enough to be a 4, but he's too wide and slow to be a 3. So, and he's not wide. That's aggressive. But I don't think he's
his
athletic.
body stature. His body stature.
Yeah, John Collins, I just don't think he's capable of being a dope 3. So he's stuck. He don't know what he is. The team was just poorly constructed. It's been poorly run. The franchise is a disaster, but it's in an amazing city. So you can attract talent, and you also got to worry about your talent because Atlanta got nightlife. And when you got a young man with a whole lot of money in a city like that, and you black, It's a lot. It's a lot. And I didn't see it happening. And I hope they move him. So is the coach on the house because last year. If you're talking about the Hawks, no, they already fired their coach. Nate McMillan got fired. They brought in Utah's guy. I forget what his name is.
Quinn Snyder.
But I don't think Quinn Snyder, he had this same situation we talked about the last pod. He had the same situation with Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell. Couldn't figure it out. One guy was hurt. Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, for what it's worth, missed time. They both stay nicked. That's their MO. So no, I don't know who's to blame per se. And Rod,
Coach Kenny said it last episode. Atlanta got Kyle Korver and
was another player. You did say.
Is it Jeremy Grunt? No,
Jared Dudley?
Landry.
Yeah, Landry Fields. That's right.
Landry Fields as their GM and assistant GM down there. So they just confused what to do down there. Like Ray said, I don't think they should have got rid of Nick McMillan. I don't think Nick McMillan was the problem. The problem starting to come out, and it's starting to sound like Trae Young is the problem. If Trae Young is the problem, then I advise Atlanta now next year, as soon as the season is over with, that you trade him and try to get the most value that you can out of him. John Collins, he's most definitely should be traded also. He's just the guy that can live above the rim. I haven't seen nothing that John Collins, as far as his shooting ability, attacking the rim, or anything in that nature that can involve his game, he didn't do. He's just the same guy that just want to catch oops and dunk on people, and that ain't gonna last for so much longer. You put him in another different system. We don't talk about John Collins. He don't have a position that where you can fit him in that you feel comfortable in. Because if you switch with a big man, you put him on Embiid. Embiid is gonna understand that he dunked on Embiid on the oop, but on the same time on the other end, if you gotta play Embiid is gonna dominate you. So he most definitely can't fit in the big guy. He can't play Giannis because I don't think he has the speed to play to keep up with Giannis.
No.
He don't have the height to play KD. It's just like John Collins is to me. John Collins is a guy that can only match up to like a Julius Randle, just because of the physical nature.
He maxes out as the Julius Randle, like that's his best case scenario.
Yeah,
or you saying another player?
As far as him as a player, I think him and Julius Randle are almost the same player, but Julius Randle can shoot better than John Collins. At least
he does everything better than John Collins. I ain't gonna let you do that to Julius Randle, the All-Star, and the Knicks, who's cooking right now. We took the Knicks topic out.
Oh, here you go. You wasn't even riding with the Knicks in the beginning.
And that's the thing about me. That's the thing about me. People pay attention. I say a lot of stuff, but when I be wrong, I give people their credit. I give the Knicks credit. I said they are performing well. I picked the Bucks to come out the East, so I ain't got a lot to say there, but the Knicks are showing me they're more. Jalen Brunson has proven he was worth more. I killed DeAndre Ayton. It would bring me great joy if he averaged 22 and 14. I want these people to be successful. Like, I don't want to see people fail, per se. But, Rod, watch your mouth. You've been talking crazy about Steph and the Warriors this whole show. How many times they got to show y'all? Just leave them alone. You talking about the Warriors not making it out. They ain't had a team all year.
Steph and they just say he talked about Steph missed 10, Wiggins missed 6. Gary
Payton back. He ain't even played yet.
Yeah.
Wiseman they traded away. Clay is washed by most people.
I ain't gonna say washed.
Come on.
But for all these injuries right now, And the Clippers is supposed to be a team that's up there. They keeping up with the Clippers. I think they only down, 4, 5?
They are ahead of the Clippers in the standings. They are in the 5th seed with all that.
Oh,
Steve Kerr I was trying to find it. Steve Kerr put something out today, said, we still got some horses coming back. And that one horse, that light-skinned Under Armour wearing horse, he different. He different. And all this experience that Poole and these other boys is getting right now, it only helps. So I think I do have Bucks, Warriors as my final. I think that's what I have. Yeah, Golden State, Milwaukee. I guess we could have looked at our championship picks with some of the trades, but Memphis, Philly for Kenny. You got Golden State and Boston, actually.
Yeah, so I got a rematch. I got the rematch.
Oh. I don't know if it goes the same way this year. I ain't gonna lie to you. I won't. I ain't about to shout out Boston, but
I ain't saying nothing yet. I'm just right now. I just believe it's gonna be a rematch again, but I ain't saying nothing yet.
And my bigger issue is with the West is the same issue I had with Sacramento. A lot of really good teams.
Nah, Rod, can't roll with you on that one.
Very few are battle tested.
Denver's one Damian. Of them. Nah, Damian. Oh, wow. Damian, Rod, they smoking on the same pack tonight.
I would love that, but they are not ready. The Kings ain't ready. Memphis might finally be ready. I don't think Denver's ready. You can't rely on Michael Porter Jr. or Jamal Murray to me. Jamal Murray can get hot. Can I rely on him? We saw what the Warriors did to them last year. Like, with Jokic playing crazy. I'm pretty sure they got swept. Like, I see the record. I just don't believe in them. Nuggets, Celtics, yeah, I just don't believe in them.
Nah, I don't believe
Celtic, the East, although it's top heavy, those teams to me are tested. The Bucks been there. The Celtics been there. I don't know if I want to necessarily say the Cavs have not.
Cavs haven't. Philly haven't.
But Philly should have been. Like, they got Harden, who's been around forever. They got Embiid. So they got some old vets that's been in some wars. Cleveland, I can't say that yet, even with some of the trades. The Knicks could run into that. We saw the Knicks, year or two ago, where they got in the playoffs and looked terrible, like they didn't belong. Julius Randle was a mess. I truly think Jalen Brunson's a big factor in that, though. So I hope he stays healthy because they need him. He's important for their success for sure. There's a bunch of stuff. Well, let's get to this before we get out of here. Jon Jones. We do combat sports here. A lot of fights. Showtime put up a list of fights. I'll try and find that for y'all. I think I sent it to the group chat. A lot of big fights. Y'all can look at that while we talk. This weekend we got Brandon Figueroa. I think he'll get it done, but that should be an amazing fight. Jared Hurd, DC, PG County's own, finally back in the ring. Had a couple delays. Excited to see him this weekend. Tim Tszyu versus Tony Harrison should be lights out. Tony Harrison beat one of the Charlo brothers. I think Jermell, whatever the younger one is. I get him confused. He beat him, but got beaten in a rematch. So David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, amazing fight.
I can't wait for that one.
Joey Spencer's a young up-and-coming talent. Chris Colbert, black dude. He's colored his hair. He had a bad loss last time out. He's a dog.
Oh, yeah, Colbert, yeah.
Sebastian Fedora, right after my birthday. He's tall, long, does damage. Brandon Lee, big fan of his. And then Javante and Ryan Garcia. There's a couple more. Julian Williams, J-Rock on the 24th. Gary Antoine Russell. I didn't even see him on here. Ramses Bartholomew. It's fights. That's my point. I ain't gonna keep listing all these out. It's fights. Get y'all Showtime subscription. Get y'all ESPN. It's fights. But this weekend, on top of the ones I just mentioned, Jon Jones is back. He's like the Josh Gordon of the NFL. But he actually had more success at his particular sport. My question is, do we care that Jon Jones is back? And if we do care, where do you rank him as a UFC fighter?
I'm gonna say I care because Jon Jones. It's not like he's one of those fighters that disappear off of. He's not an Adrian Broner. So you know, what I mean, let's start there. I think Jon Jones is still relevant in the UFC. I think that Jon Jones is most definitely gonna go down to being one of the greatest combat sport fighter in his profession. I'm gonna tune in. I ain't even gonna lie. At first, I was debating on whether I was going to tune in to any more of his fights because I felt like he was almost running his course, almost like a Mayweather a little bit. It's like yeah, he's a big name, but then it's like, do you really want to waste your time? Is he going to be that guy? Is he going to be Jon Jones from before or anything in that nature? Or the age, did the injury catch up to him? So that speculation right there kind of makes you want to, watch and tune in and see who he is. My man said he the Barry Bonds of the UFC.
Here you go. People always just got crazy stuff to say, but it's cool. It's cool.
Oh man.
And that's disrespectful for Barry. I ain't gonna hold you. Barry wasn't found guilty of nothing. Y'all need to leave Barry alone. Barry need to be in the Hall of Fame, all that. Y'all some haters. Yeah. The man was amazing. I don't care how many creams you put on. You still got to be able to see and hit the 2 pitches in an entire game you see, and you put them in the park or put them in the water. Like, don't get me started on Barry Bonds. We won't talk baseball like that. But me, I don't care. Like, I'm going to say this. I'm salacious. Whatever. Sue me. Don't sue me, actually. I got mad kids.
I got mad kids.
I don't know if Jon Jones wins, how does he celebrate?
He don't celebrate. You don't.
He gonna celebrate.
You
know what happens
out.
when Jon Jones celebrates? You fail drug test. You know what happens when you fail drug test? You can't fight. So, like, I'm just tired. Like, I hope you win, but it's just a failure to me. He should be no doubt the greatest UFC fighter ever, based on talent and skill set. And he couldn't get out his own way. So I hope for the best. He's a lot older. I think he's going to punish this guy. Hey, Barry innocent until proven guilty. The clear. And here's the other part. Steroids weren't even illegal. That part gets missed in all these conversations. Steroids wasn't even illegal. So I'm just crazy. But no, Jon Jones is definitely one of them ones. I hope he wins. He better not be on when Brandon Figueroa and Jared Hurd on. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna have to catch him on the rerun. Do we know if it's pay-per-view? It's Jon Jones charging his pay-per-view? Because I'm definitely not about to pay. Well, I don't pay anyway, but I'm not paying him. And that's the problem, Rod. That is the problem. He probably. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna put that on him. But I'm just over it, dog. Like, and another thing I'm over, Floyd Mayweather exhibitions.
I was just going to ask you, what would you rather see? I know you ain't paying your money, but if you
I didn't give Zeus no money, and I ain't giving ESPN no money. Y'all got to get it back in blood. The next pay-per-view I'm paying for is probably Davis. I give him some money because I respect him and appreciate him.
You said who?
Gervonta and Ryan Garcia. I'll probably pay that.
My man said Floyd versus T.I. No.
If Natalie none of them didn't prove something, street fighting don't work in a boxing ring. Did Nate Robinson not prove that? Like, just because you can fight in the street don't mean you can fight in the ring.
Did Swaggy P not prove that? Then
Another.
y'all just no. Don't get me wrong. And Tip is is one of my favorite rappers.
For money,
No.
sure.
I'm not.
Like
No,
I would
I'm not
rather
watching.
see, and it don't make sense because of weight classes. I want to see Floyd and 50 fight. That's the fight. They've been beefing for forever. Let them jokers
Nah.
fight it out.
I don't want to see
I
that.
saw
either.
this thing. This is completely unrelated, but Rod, you're going where I was going. I seen this thing where it said it was this couple, it's a black couple, young black couple, and at one point they basically, I guess, they were arguing, and they made a rule that said, if we argue, next time we argue, we gotta put the gloves on. This man was boxing his girl with a Christmas tree in the living room. Like, people just doing crazy stuff. No, I don't want to see Pacquiao. I don't want to see Floyd. I don't want to see none of that. I barely want to see Adrian Broner. I just want to see him get back on his feet because I feel like he's working hard and he sold me. But now you dropped your promotional company and now you have no fight. Like, bro, people is clowns. That made me say something I don't like saying. I don't know, man.
Mayweather, Damien, go night.
I
Time you
don't
go
want
night.
to see any of these people. None of them.
Floyd and
God,
Crawford. No.
Did y'all see Floyd fight? Have y'all seen Floyd? Like, I love Floyd. Huge fan. One, he's not going to be at 147, which is where Crawford is. And two different worlds of class. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy, I guess, that Jake Paul and others are bringing attention to the sport. But as I just showed you on that lineup, it's a bunch of great fights coming. Y'all don't need to waste y'all time with these tricks and these dog and ponies and these money grabs and these drunk, high people out there looking foolish, getting embarrassed and embarrassing their family. It's some great fighters. Go watch the real fighters. Go watch the great fighters. Support them. So more come. And that's it. O'Malley, I think that's the UFC guy with the braids. I think that's that guy. He's nice. If that's the same dude, I don't know when he fights. Floyd already beat. No, I shouldn't have said that. That fight. This fight is already. Stopped it. That fight has already been fought, and it was not a judge's decision. The legal, you can read all about it if you want. Oh man, Floyd, I love you, dog.
I swear, I would have loved to hear the rest of the words that Kerry.
It was so bad. Pause.
Oh man! Oh man! Oh man!
We ain't got no mute button. We ain't got no edit. I had to.
Oh man!
But
that statement would have been finished, I think I would have been done for the night.
Fight I would like to see sanctioned since they do it without gloves. Blueface and Krishan. Show me for sure who really be beating who. Because y'all got mad domestic violence that the world just seems to laugh at and think is cool. I don't. But if y'all fighting for money, fight for some money.
I'm tired of hearing about those two. Anywho, that's not sports related for me.
Yeah, Mayweather would. And they're good friends. That wouldn't happen. But Nate should never step in a ring again.
Nah, Nate, I don't know if y'all know, I had talked about it on one of my on my own podcast episode. You know, Nate was battling kidney disease.
I did not know that.
He's battling kidney disease. That's why his NBA career was cut short.
I just thought he got blackballed because he kept trying to come back.
Yeah, he was trying to, but some of the doctors wasn't clearing him to come back because I can't remember what it was, but he is battling kidney disease, and he's been battling that disease. I think before he got into the NBA.
Oh, so then that's an excuse. If he played with it, he could play with it.
Yeah, he been. That's why.
I'm sure it doesn't help.
Yeah, that's why. That's one of the reasons why his career got cut short. Doctors kept saying like
again. Go ahead.
They kept saying that he wasn't going to play as long. He wasn't going to make it. His body was going to shut down and stuff like that. And he kept going out there and kept playing. But it finally caught up. It finally caught up to him.
Yeah, that's sad. I didn't know that. Real quick, who said it? Somebody up here said it, and I'm being phony right now, but I'm gonna be phony because it's my show. Somebody up here was dogging. Oh, Rod, my man Rod. Green is washed. Poole inconsistent. Thompson can't guard a cold. I just want to let you know, Klay Thompson currently has 16 points in this game. He's doing the best he can, but nobody guards anymore, Rod. We got to remove any kind of they play defense in the it's bad.
This is why they talking about that new overtime rule because they don't play defense.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of a lot of this lack of defense, but
man,
yeah, so I'm not gonna kill.
He Klay. Went in on Floyd versus Dr. Seuss books.
Oh, I thought I missed the book part because Dr. Seuss was a racist. Quiet as it's kept. Do your research. So I'd love to see Floyd beat the racism out of him. Somebody else just said something crazy, something racist. Dang, I can't remember who it was. I don't know. Next week we'll get more into the gentleman at the combine that got arrested. He wasn't even drunk, but the deadly accident.
He wasn't drunk.
Nah, from what I understand, he wasn't drunk. He wasn't. He was driving, but he wasn't even in the accident. He just left the scene.
Yeah,
from what I understand, and came back hours later. So I need to do more research on it. I know he's back at the combine now. So we will have more on that as I have more information. I just don't know enough to speak about it, given the severe nature of the situation. I don't want to say nothing crazy out of pocket and look like an idiot or be insensitive. But we will get to that probably on Monday. Yeah, great fights this weekend. If you ain't got nothing to do, turn on Showtime. I believe everything's on Showtime. It's not even pay-per-view.
Yeah, everything's on Showtime.
Yeah. I know the guy that died that I think was the college or like the team manager, whatever he was like double the limit. I don't believe the football player was, but he left, came back, said his story was a little shaky. That's just all I'm reporting. I don't have an opinion yet either way, but he is back for what it's worth. He's back at the combine. So it was 2 misdemeanors. I guess he told them what they wanted to hear because they didn't keep him. So yeah, that's all we got. Yeah, man. Dev, what you doing this weekend? What we got?
This weekend, like I told you, I'm gonna be at my brother's wedding tomorrow.
You like the wife?
Say it again.
No, I was being messy. I said, do you like his fiance? You like her?
Oh yeah, she's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Real dope person, real great personality. I think they are a great match. I believe I can see their relationship going way further than a lot of people is anticipating or expecting. So most definitely, Black love. We always support that. What else? Y'all I already told y'all my 99th episode drops tomorrow morning. What else I got going on? Probably just a little bit of workouts with me and my sons. I gotta get them back into the gym, get them ready for football season. Coming back up. Well, they try and run track now, so we're gonna get them in the track shape, get them ready for football. Yeah, that's then chilling, watching boxing pretty much. What you got going on?
Cool. Yeah, gotta record Bond Chronicles episode coming out Monday at noon. So we'll get into that this weekend. We're gonna talk about a variety of different things going on in the world. specifically these women and why y'all keep lying on people. Duty Low won $11 million from a woman who couldn't even afford a lawyer. So y'all better stop lying on these people, because Cardi B told that one Tasha K is up. So yeah, we're going to kind of talk about this culture of lying and the responsibility of women when they lie on some of these men and ruining careers. We still haven't got to those football players. I think it was Ohio State that were exonerated in the last week or two. So yeah, a lot of stuff that we'll be talking about there. And then dad life, boxing, kids, took them out today, had a good time. I did want to address a couple things before I go. Rod, I don't know what YMC championship that means. What kind of shade you are shading at the light-skinned brother, but you got to get that hate out your heart. Hate should not belong there for such a positive, powerful, successful team and individual. More love, less hate, my brother. Jalen Carter turned himself in. That's why he's back at the combine, Damien. He left and came back. So that's why I said he's back, because he did go turn himself in, did whatever legal he had to do. John, this has not got talked about much at all. The fall from grace of UNC and Duke, and really just, I don't want to go out on the limb and say college basketball yet, but I feel like
can go ahead and say it. College basketball has fallen off, and to me, they was saving basketball, because NBA kind of was already falling off, but college basketball now, it don't give me that hype like it used to. Like March Madness don't feel March Madness no more.
The names aren't there. Like who's the number one overall pick? The guy in Paris. I was trying to see him when I was over there, but I couldn't. I'm still
not sold on him yet. I still got to see some more games.
That's all we dunked on the other day.
Yeah, I'm tired of seeing clips. Jordan Poole like he hurt.
Oh, you must be ahead of me. He had the free throw line.
You must be ahead of me then.
Oh, okay, yeah, he had the free throw line. 11 seconds is what I got.
I got 11.2.
Okay, so yeah, we're at the same spot. But he had the free throw line. He going, if whatever's happening on your joint, he about to get up and shoot.
Okay.
So yeah, exciting times, man. You have a great time tomorrow. Don't drink too much. Have a blast. Congratulations.
Can't promise you that.
Well, I did my job as a friend. If you so choose, knock stuff out. Actually, we got to talk about the other player that gave his friend the gun. Dang, Kawhi at the buzzer hit it, or maybe it was late. I don't know. But yeah, enjoy the second half of the game. Enjoy y'all weekend. Stay safe. Feel free to watch some XFL if you want. DC Defenders 2-0.
I've been watching it. XFL is very interesting. We got to talk about it on Monday.
We will probably be forced to talk about it. But it's cool. Like I'm gonna try and get to a game. I think they play at Audi Field where the soccer team plays. Amazing stadium, really, really cool, nice area. So I'm gonna try and get to a game. They sent me a bunch of emails and stuff trying to get me to buy season tickets. I passed, but these local games be all right. I went to the baseball here. I went to the DC Go-Go basketball team. That was dope. So I imagine
we gotta link up. I'm gonna try something else.
All right, we can talk. I'll be around and definitely with the ASAP stuff. So let's do it. We ain't even gonna talk about it. I'm gonna find something, or you find something, and we're gonna make it work. We can look at the XFL. You say XFL, we going to XFL game. Y'all heard it here first. Pressure's on them. They play in DC. I think they only got like 6 games, so we have a small window. But we're gonna try and get to an XFL game and let y'all know what that was like as well. Give you a one-of-one experience. Yeah. So appreciate y'all. Y'all rock. Y'all are the best. Catch us on our personal channels as well as here. ASAP doing big things. A lot of announcements coming. Some big stuff. We have our app. I should definitely say that, and me and Jay should probably get together. So we have an app. So I know you guys, a lot of y'all watching on Facebook and YouTube. ASAP has an app that you can watch from your phone anywhere in the world. You can stream our shows. You can do all that from the app that is live in the Google Play Store. I'm not sure if it's in the Apple Store yet.
It's not in the Apple Store yet.
Apple Store, okay, but it is in Google Play. So for our Samsung and other non-Apple people, definitely go ahead and download that. If they have service, my issue when I go, because Damien, I go to a lot of concerts. I just went to the JID concert. Streaming from stadiums is really hard unless you have Wi-Fi, because the stadiums, they don't care about you. So it would look great to me and be terrible for y'all. So I typically don't go live when I go places just because the quality sucks. But we could take some pics, maybe have some videos we'll put on the episode. But it's just hard to kind of go live. And it would be my personal page. It wouldn't be from ASAP's page because I'm not that important at ASAP yet. So give me the password, Jay. So yeah, man, appreciate y'all. We would definitely keep y'all up to date. Enjoy y'all Thursday night. Enjoy y'all weekend. And we will be back on Monday. Stay tuned. Stay up. Keep rocking.
All sports, all plays.